Greetings and welcome to the Badger Politic. I'm Scott Stearns.
This is Paul Sickle.
Hey, Paul. Labor Day weekend coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be a slow news week, right?
Yeah, always, except when the newsmakers labor.
I suppose.
What do you got planned for the weekend?
A little cookout, a little rest and relaxation before summer.
Are you going to stay by your phone? Well, Marquette, Charles Franklin may give you a call and ask you what you think of the state of politics.
Yeah, we do have a Marquette poll due out in like a week.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
Now, if he reached you, it would probably be an example of response bias.
Perhaps. Well, in the context of the Democratic primary, we have news today that Kirsten Gillibrand of New York, U.S. Senator, is dropping out of the race for president in the Democratic primary. So she didn't make the cut for the next debate. There's 10 candidates that did make the cut. And so there will be one debate this go-around. There will not be two.
Sorry, I'm drifting off. Okay.
That
was so exciting.
You tend to whenever we talk about the primary, it seems like.
Yeah. Oh boy. That was a real jaw-dropper.
Yeah.
That's a real thud.
So who are the candidates?
Who's going to take the Gillibrand space or the Seth Moulton space?
Yeah, he dropped out as well, right?
Wow, yeah. And then there's...
Well, hopefully more will.
Yeah, we've got a list of 10 that are ready to roll.
Others that didn't make the cut.
Basically all of them.
Bill de Blasio didn't make the cut either.
Should we read their names off?
Tim Ryan didn't make the cut.
Speaking of which, what's getting a little more crowded, though, for every Democrat that keeps dropping out, you get one jumping in on the Republican side.
Yeah.
So there's a Republican primary, folks, against
is.
President Trump for president for the GOP nomination. You've got, who do we got? Weld?
Well, we have Governor Bill Weld, or former Governor Bill Weld, ran for as Libertarian last go-around.
Yeah, as a Veep.
Yes.
And then you got Joe Walsh, the former congressman from Illinois.
He announced this past week.
Who says he's very conservative now, but he regrets that he was a birther and he kind of helped invent Donald Trump, he says. And now he's trying to bring a little conscience to it or something like that.
Sure, whatever.
Who's the other guy?
Mark Sanford.
Former governor and
South Carolina.
And congressperson.
Yes.
And I believe is he still in the Congress? I believe
No.
I think he just left, though. So you've got 3 Republicans running against Trump. So you have a field of 4 candidates. That's actually a pretty substantial field.
They should actually have a debate, I would think.
They need to.
These, folks.
And I think you are going to offer,
I'm
as
all
CEO of the Badger Politic, Scott, I do call you our CEO.
I appreciate that.
Are you willing to make an announcement that you're going to offer a platform?
I would love to offer an invitation to all the Republicans running for president to have a debate. Because it doesn't seem like they're getting the attention. And I feel like...
including the current president, right? Absolutely.
Of course.
Uncle Rick could moderate it.
We can bring him
in. He'd
in.
be really in the tank for Trump, though, I think.
That's
unfortunately.
Fine. That's fine.
Well, I just don't think he'd be much of a moderator. I don't think it'd be...
But the definition of moderator probably wouldn't
Joe Walsh, aren't you a rhino? Something like,
yeah.
I know you are a birther, and I used to have a fat-head of you up in my kitchen.
I think we should have a debate amongst these folks, and what better place than the Badger Politic? So
I'm for it.
So I'm throwing it out there, you candidates in the GOP primary. We want you to have equal time.
I think we should actually send out invitations. We should contact their press people and see what they say.
Yeah, let's do it.
Failing that, I think MSNBC, somebody should sponsor.
Well, hey, it's Battleground Wisconsin, right? So if they care about winning this state, they should spend some time here and get to know folks.
If Trump keeps talking too much smack about Fox News, though, maybe they could be like, here you go, buddy.
Yeah.
We're having a GOP debate. You're invited. I mean, that really would fuck him up.
Oh, I'm sure it would.
If there was a Fox News
I don't know what
debate.
Fox and Friends would do with that.
It's been a rough couple of weeks for Team Trump.
Yes. There's just crazy stuff happening. We're talking about, or he's talking about nuking hurricanes. I don't know. There's some crazy shit flowing out there.
It's not helping him in the polls.
No.
But then again, if he's got Georgia election officials on his side, what does it matter? Tell us. What's going on?
There's some crazy stuff happening in Georgia. So let's set the table with this. So there's already a U.S. Senate election in Georgia next year with Senator David Perdue, who is up for re-election. Mm-hmm. But then Senator Johnny Isakson, who's been in the Senate a number of years, has announced that he's going to retire at the end of this year. as he is battling Parkinson's.
Oh,
so
I wish him the best.
Yeah.
In that endeavor.
For sure. So there's going to be 2 U.S. Senate seats up next year.
Yeah.
Stacey Abrams, I guess, who ran for governor in 2018.
She said she won't do it?
Apparently, at least right now, is saying that she's not running.
Is that because she doesn't think the votes will be counted?
That could be. So there's this story that...
There's some reason here, right.
I'm reading from Taken Goddard, quoting the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, something about voting machine number 3 at the Winterville train depot outside Athens, Georgia. And it says on machine number 3, Republicans won every race. And then on each of the other 6 machines in their precinct, Democrats won every race. The odds of an anomaly that large are less than 1 in a million. Crazy stuff going on.
I wonder if there's an explanation.
There could very well be, but I don't think there is one right now.
I mean, okay, so if you had several precincts, several machines in a precinct or a ward, as it were, you could have a situation where one of them narrowly voted Democratic and then the others narrowly voted Republican. That would not be...
So the rest of the quote from the story is, it says, it just so happens that this occurred in Republican Brian Kemp's home precinct, where he initially had a problem voting when his yellow voter access card didn't work because a poll worker forgot to activate it. At the time, Kemp was Secretary of State, Georgia's top election official, and running for governor in a tight contest with Democrat Stacey Abrams. The suspicious results in Winterville are evidence in the ongoing mystery of whether errors with voting machines contributed to a stark drop-off in votes recorded in the race for Georgia lieutenant governor between Republican Jeff Duncan, who ended up winning, and Democrat Sarah Riggs Amico.
I mean, the question I would have, though, is it's lieutenant governor. Why wouldn't there be a drop-off?
You would think there would be, if it's a separate race in the ballot.
I mean, how many people know the name of the lieutenant governor of Wisconsin?
Oh, I'm sure probably less than half.
Right.
So there's that. Obviously there's going to be some poll numbers coming out from Marquette, as we mentioned, next week. So we'll be back to cover that stuff. But otherwise, it looks like the stage is set, at least for this next debate. Let's just run down the candidates before we wrap up here. The candidates that did qualify are former Veep Joe Biden, Pete Buttigieg, Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Cory Booker, Beto O'Rourke, Amy Klobuchar, Julian Castro, Andrew Yang. Made the cut. It's got a loyal following.
Wow, you read those fast. I was trying to give them their titles.
That's okay. But the ones that didn't make it, Steyer, Gabbard, Marianne Williamson, Gillibrand, Michael Bennett, Steve Bullock, de Blasio, John Delaney, Tim Ryan, and Joe Sestak. All 10 of those should just they should just bow out tomorrow. Like let's just get this.
No,
thing
Marianne
down to 10.
Williamson's kind of entertaining, but
well, she's pulling up 1%.
well,
others don't agree.
1%. You bring up Biden. We've gotten some really divergent polls recently. So we had, I believe it was Quinnipiac and Marist. Both showed Biden in a dead heat. In fact, in one case, he was in third place.
Was it Marist or
Maybe
Monmouth?
it was Monmouth. And was the other one Quinnipiac? I'm not sure. Several others now are confirming still that he's in first place by at least 5 points.
Yeah.
Volatility in primary polls is not that unusual.
Sure.
What's maybe a little less usual is for contemporaneous polls that are high quality, like CNN, Monmouth, and all that, for them to diverge so much like I said, contemporaneously.
Yeah.
That seems a little strange. The other thing you're seeing is a lot of divergence, frankly, in the horse race, head-to-heads.
Yeah.
And with a candidate as well-defined, in my opinion, as Joe Biden, or even some of the higher-tier Democrats now are pretty well-defined. Biden, Warren, you name it. Sanders, certainly. To a lesser extent, Harris and Buttigieg, right? They post in Quinnipiac, all of them substantial leads. I think the closest one is 9 points to Buttigieg.
So I've got the numbers here. So that Quinnipiac poll,
Biden's 16 points up.
Trump is trailing Biden 54-38. Sanders is beating Trump 53-39. Warren 52-40. Harris 52-40, and Buttigieg 49-40.
So the worst one is plus 9.
Buttigieg, yeah.
The Democrats may need to win the popular vote solidly in order to get to 270 because states, unfortunately, like Wisconsin, are going to lag.
Yeah.
And we're still probably the tipping point state.
Right.
We may lag the national average by 5 points. In other words, in order to get to 270, we may need a Democrat to carry the popular vote by 5 percentage points, which is what Bill Clinton carried when he trounced George H.W. Bush in 1992. He actually got carried by a little more with Dole.
Yes.
Like, we may actually have to have a Democrat claim a near popular vote or landslide in order to claim the slimmest of electoral
to get over the
majorities.
Finish line. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It really is rigged in a way, but then again, it is the system we have.
The Electoral College. Yep.
Right. I guess where I'm going here is there are other polls currently showing Biden maybe 4 or 5 points ahead, or they've recently shown him, and the rest of them even closer or tied, which would imply that most likely the Democrat won't be able to make it to 270 and Trump will be reelected because most likely if it's within 5 points nationally, a state like Wisconsin's going to stay with Trump. And unless you can pull Arizona out of a hat or convince Georgia to count all their votes, which apparently they're not willing to do anymore, like, it really leaves us in a bad spot.
It's going to make this Marquette poll that's soon to be released
very telling.
very interesting, and see how that plays into what we're talking about.
Yeah, does it go right down the middle? Does it favor the conservative view, the pro-Trump
or does it tell a completely different story? I guess we'll
or does it go Quinnipiac on
this? Yeah. I don't know.
So Republican debates today.
Yeah, let's do that. And
right.
New Marquette poll next time around. We'll be talking about
Sounds good.
Forward, folks.
Forward.